What up, everybody? The Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 trailer has Tariq with Diana in a clinic, with Reek telling Diana that his dad tried keeping him away from the life, and look how he turned out. So this preview is pretty much letting us know that Diana is pregnant, but the real question we got to ask is, who is the father? From the looks of the preview, Diana is going to say that Tariq is the father, but we know that Tariq wasn't the only guy Diana was hooking up with at the time. Because she had a boyfriend throughout all season 3 that she was hooking up with until they broke up because Salim was insensitive about Lorenzo's death and always trying to judge Diana's family. But Diana later found out that Salim wasn't even dude's real name, but his name was actually Trevor Nelson. And his whole identity was a fraud, so she used this to blackmail Trevor after he threatened to expose Diana for selling drugs out of the candy store and fired her. Diana had also just got done betraying Tariq for the second time by convincing him to go after Monet, where she would then wreck into his car to stop him from getting away, and Kane would come out and kill Tariq. That was at least the plan, and they also got Tariq to target their mother by Diana wearing a red wig and dressing up like Monet and delivering Tasha's address for Tommy to Kate's house. This shows Diana really got no love for Tariq, willing to get him and his mother killed just to serve her own agenda. At the same time, though, I think that Drew and Diana were also under the impression that Tariq was involved in Lorenzo's death by giving Monet the information about Lorenzo's fingerprints being at Zeke's crime scene after Diana found the paperwork that Tariq got from Davis under his mattress. Keep it in mind that she was doing this because Sachs sent out letters to the Tejadas blaming all their problems on Tariq and lying, saying he was a snitch and he had been working with the feds. And this wasn't even the first time Diana played Tariq. She also played him in Season 2 when Lorenzo couldn't get his re-up because the crew jacked Mecca of his product and the blue diamond ring. Lorenzo then sent Diana and Drew to Stansfield to get his weight back. And to do this, Diana put on the Damsel in Distress Act so she could get the QR code that opened the lockers with the weight from Tariq's phone. So Tariq should have known the first time he got played by Diana not to trust her again. But especially after she played him the second time, either though she could still manipulate that situation because the fact Tariq doesn't know exactly how everything played out or the extent of Diana's involvement in both Tasha being targeted and also Tariq being targeted by Kane and Noma after telling them that Tariq was the shooter. But now Tariq could even potentially get played by Diana for a third time, telling him that he's the father of her child when it might actually be Salim. Truth is, though, Diana might not even actually know who the father is herself. But at the end of the day, she will know if she used a condom with one of them and didn't with the other. So because of that, I'm thinking that Salim is most likely the father because the fact she was with him multiple times because she was in a relationship with him. Also because Salim seems like the type of guy who would get a female pregnant to kind of like leave her stuck in a relationship with him type thing. But at the end of the day, Tariq and Diana hooking up was kind of a spur of the moment thing. And we know that Tariq also stayed the night from when Effie showed up the next morning. So he might have hit more than once and didn't bother wearing a condom. But the fact that Tariq is there at the clinic with Diana tells us that Tariq at least believes that he's the father. Unless Diana just straight up lies to Tariq and tells him he's the only person she's been with and the condom must have broke or something like that. And at this point, you really can't put anything past Diana. But the fact that she is pregnant would mean that Tariq wouldn't kill Diana even if he found out everything she did, at least till she had the baby and he got the DNA test. That would be crazy though if Tariq finds out Diana sent Tommy after Tasha and caused all the problems for him, but then finds out that she's pregnant, so he waits for her to have his child, then cancels Christmas on her. Keep it in mind that the Season 3 trailer shows Tariq pointing a gun at Diana. Could she spare her own life by telling Tariq that she's pregnant? Then also keep in mind that the trailer shows Tariq breaking into a house where he ends up roughing up Salim. Getting me to the question, why is Tariq targeting Salim? And is it to get to Diana? Will Diana find out that she's pregnant and initially turn to Salim and tell him that he's the daddy, trying to avoid any type of confrontation with Tariq, and she would get Salim to let her move in with her so she's safe from Tariq at the Stansfield campus? And Tariq might be breaking into Salim's house looking for Diana, and that's why he starts roughing up Salim to find out where Diana is. And this might be when Tariq finds out that Diana's pregnant and decides to spare her. But at the same time, Tariq really has no way of finding out the real extent of Diana's involvement unless he talks to Kate again or retrieves the Ring door cam footage of Diana delivering the letter to Kate's house. So because of this, I think once Tariq finds out that Diana's pregnant, he might try to do the right thing by her, convinced that he is actually the father. And like I said, he might just be. But at the end of the day, we just don't know. And then Tariq will get into a relationship with Diana, and that's why they're having the whole conversation with Tariq telling her that his dad tried to keep him away from the life, and look how he turned out. This could be Tariq and Diana having a conversation about how they're going to raise their son, because both of them were raised with parents who were drug dealers, the difference being that Diana was forced by her parents into the life, and as Tariq said, his father tried keeping him away from the life. So because of this, they might both actually have opposite views on how to raise their child, being the opposite of how they were raised, with Tariq wanting to be honest with his child about who he is, but Diana wanted to shield their child from the life like Ghost and Tasha tried doing with Tariq. Keeping in mind that their plan was working until Kanan got out of prison and turned their whole world upside down. But like Kanan always said, Tariq was a born gangster. And even before he met Kanan, he still brought a gun to school and was also getting into fights. But because of this conflict on how to raise their son, Diana might turn to Salim and tell him he's the father and try to get away from Tariq. And that might also be why Tariq's breaking into Salim's crib, making sure Diana doesn't leave town with his child. But if Tariq and Diana do get back together and they try to have a relationship, I can see everything getting turned upside down by them one day bumping into Kate Egan and Kate telling Diana, "Hey Monet, you look so much better without your red wig on." I've also compared Diana to Rock in other videos, with Rock growing up with two brothers Marvin and Lou, and Diana with Kanan and Drew, and both of them coming from drug dealing families. Now keep in mind how Rock hid who Kanan's true father was for all those years until it was finally exposed. And I'm not comparing Reek to Defcon at all. I wouldn't do that to my boy. But at the same time, the circumstances might be similar. Also keep it in mind that Salim was already exposed for having a fake name. And also Howard was an undercover when he got Rock pregnant. And when Salim tried firing Diana, he also called Tariq a murderer and a drug dealer. Now this is public info because of Tariq's double murder trial. But could Salim possibly also be a plan at Stansfield, like an undercop, a CI, or something like that? And the final question I have concerning this pregnancy is their families, because they're currently all trying to kill each other. So will this pregnancy bring peace between the Tejadas and the St. Patricks? And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.